The Book of Daniel, from the Old Greek, specifically Alfred Rahlfs Septuagint. This translation is in the public domain. Links will be in the description below. Chapter 8. In the 3rd year of the reign of Belteshazzar, there was a vision which I saw, I, Daniel, after I saw the first. And I saw in the vision of my dream, when I was in the city Susa, which is in the province Elamaeus, when I was yet at the gate Elam. I looked up and saw one great ram standing over against the gate, and he had horns, and the one was higher than the other. And the higher one came up. And after these I saw the ram butting toward the east, and toward the north, and toward the west, and toward the south. And no wild beasts stood before him, and there was none to deliver out of his hands. And he did as he would, and was exalted. And I considered, and behold, a he-goat of the goats came from the west over the face of the earth, and he touched not the earth. And one horn of the he-goat was between his eyes, and he came against the ram that had the horns, which I had seen standing at the gate, and he ran upon him in fierce anger. And I saw him drawing near to the ram, and he was wroth with him, and he smote and broke his 2 horns, and there was no longer any strength in the ram to stand before the he-goat. And he tore him asunder on the earth, and broke him, and there was none to deliver the ram from the he-goat. And the he-goat of the goats prevailed exceedingly. And when he prevailed, his great horn was broken, and 4 other horns came up after it toward the 4 winds of heaven. And out of one of them was grown one strong horn. And he prevailed and smote to the south, and to the east, and to the north. And he was exalted unto the stars of heaven, and he was dashed down upon the earth by the stars, and by them he was trampled, until the chief captain shall deliver the captivity. And by him the mountains of old were dashed down, and their place and sacrifice were removed, and he laid it even to the ground upon the earth. And he prospered, and it came to pass, and the sanctuary shall be made desolate, and the sins were upon the sacrifice, and righteousness was cast down to the ground, and he wrought and prospered. And I heard another saint speaking, and the other saint said to the Phalmuni that was speaking, How long shall the vision stand, and the sacrifice that was taken away, and the sin of desolation that was offered? And how long shall the sanctuaries be made desolate for trampling? And he said to him, Until evening and morning, 2,300 days, and the sanctuary shall be cleansed. And it came to pass, in my seeing it, I, Daniel, sought to understand the vision. And behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man. And I heard the voice of a man in the midst of the Ulai, and he called and said, Gabriel, instruct that man in the vision. And the man cried out and said, The vision concerning that ordinance. And he came and stood near where I stood, and in his coming I was troubled and fell upon my face. And he said to me, Understand, O Son of Man, for this vision is yet for an hour of time. And as he was speaking with me, I lay upon my face on the ground, and he touched me and raised me up to my place. And he said to me, Behold, I tell thee what things shall be in the last of the wrath upon the sons of thy people, for it shall abide yet for the hour of the time of the end. The ram which thou sawest, that had the horns, is the king of the Medes and Persians. And the he-goat of the goats is the king of the Greeks. And the great horn which is between his eyes, he is the first king. And the 4 horns that were broken and came up after it are 4 kings of his nation. They shall not arise according to his strength. And in their last kingdom, filling up their sins, there shall arise a king bold in countenance, understanding dark speeches. And his strength shall be established, yet not in his strength. And he shall corrupt wonderfully, and prosper, and work. And he shall corrupt mighty men and people of the saints. And his thought shall be against the saints, and the lie shall prosper in his hands. And his heart shall be exalted, and by craft he shall utterly destroy many. And upon the destruction of men he shall stand. And he shall make a congregation by hand, and shall sell it. The evening and morning vision was found in truth. And now the vision is shut up, for it is yet for many days. I, Daniel, was sick many days, and I rose up, and was occupied again in royal affairs, and I was faint over the vision, and there was no one that considered it.